Alright, looks like everything's working here, so we are live. Welcome to Fireside Chat number 110. Stuff going on. Well, we did have the Hjor thing ended. Congrats to House Deputy on winning. House Commander taking second place. I think overall it was a lot of fun. It's one of those things where every year at the Hjor thing there's usually a couple of weird things. Sometimes it can get pretty competitive, and it can be difficult to make rulings on certain things. So I think overall, this one probably went better than just about anyone previously. But there's still some questions I think I have as far as this is something I brought up in the all thing too, as far as what kind of rule changes can we make, what kind of things can we change to improve it in the future. Something that's been brought up is doing it less frequently. I think in particular because we did the Vet Vigor in Yule, that it was rather not that long since the last one, but that also seems to be pretty subjective. For some people, they felt that it felt like it was yesterday we just did one, and they don't like doing them very often. Some people felt like they wanted to not do them often at all. So or rather, some people felt that they don't mind doing them very often. So, as far as how often we'll do them, I'm not sure. At the very least, I think the soonest we do another competition or something like that would be uh, December for Yule, and we'll see. I think the Vet Vigor went pretty well, but I'm not totally sure if that's something that I think we should do every year. I think having a tournament is a nice thing, just a stopgap solution, because we need to do something for each, occasion, celebration. But I don't know that having a competition is the best thing for Yule. It seems like some like storytelling, that kind of thing, is usually more standard, but it's something we have done in the past. Go back to like Yule 2010. There's a mark for that one. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, definitely curious people's thoughts on the Vet Vigor and also the frequency of Hjor things and Yarnhriths. Yarnhriths, I could say more definitively. I don't know if we're going to do another one. I think it just becomes kind of challenging. Um, we were doing great companies competitions for those after the initial one was between warbands, and participation wasn't super great for the first one. It's pretty terrible. The second one, it was fine, but it's just challenging, and even to some degree, Hjor thing suffers from this issue too of like finding shared games. Like, what if everyone from one house only plays a certain game, nobody else plays it, or same thing for a warband, something like that. Anyway, something that's just brought up in the Shrine of Uko channel is the Codex of the Ice here. Still on the forums with an older version, but unfortunately, when I did have to update Uko a while back, the Codex is no longer compatible. Now, there is a different application on Uko that I could make the Codex in. It would require us to remake it from scratch, though, which makes me want to just, if we have to remake it from scratch, we might as well try to come up with the best possible way to make it this time around. And I think there's a good chance that finding some kind of encyclopedia bot or something like that for Discord would be a better idea than hosting it on Red, which Red Discord bot is the type of bot that Uko is. So I think that might be what I do. It is nice to run bots like if you see, there's across the stat bot rather, and there is also Uko and Ilmatar, but Across and Ilmatar are both hosted by other people. They're bots that you invite to the server, and the bot kind of functions like a different user you invite to the server. So with Uko, I have to actually just have it running on my computer with the scripts running and have it connected to the server, and it relies on my computer and my internet. Overall, it's been pretty good, but it goes down from time to time. Windows Update will just randomly update sometimes and bring it down in the middle of the night. So, yeah. Anyway, that's another thing I'm working on. As far as stuff going on recently, of course, RLE. RLE is happening tonight, or well, it can. I initially approached it as sort of a very set date and time, but there's really no reason why I can't just administer the test whenever, whenever anybody wants. So there's not a great reason to have it set. So I'm kind of continuing to say, well, after Court of the High King, 6 p.m. Pacific on Thursdays most of the time. The RLE can be given, but can be given anytime, and especially once we get some more exam proctors, then I think it will be a lot easier for people to take it because they can kind of take it whenever. But yeah, that's another thing. Version 1B is out in announcements, so there's version 1A and version 1B, and for a lot of people, they'll want to take 2 versions so they can teach the exam themselves or be eligible for promotion to Hairseer. And so there's 2 versions out now. I am going to make a 3rd one pretty soon, and I would say 1B and 1C are better tests and easier because with 1A, and I'm going to continue to do this, but with 1A specifically, I had a survey after the end and kind of read people's thoughts and also just talked to people after the test and sort of made some changes based on that. Reduced the questions from 20 to 15. I think the difficulty is lower. But part of it too is like each test will have some different questions. So the focus of 1B is a little bit different. It focuses a bit more on clan organization, I would say. I'd have to look at the study guide again, actually, but yeah, those are both available. In going with that, I did make the Monolith channel pretty recently here, and I've been kind of working on it to improve the formatting, make it more readable. So that has a lot of really, really useful stuff, especially for officers. It has templates for how to write a report, how to write a roll call, information on duties for every warband, like who's doing what, who's leading what, information on the expectations for warbands, how to make a great company or warband, how to make a house or family, the requirements for all that stuff, and basic information about the houses. Does remind me I would like to do a House Dippity lineage chart update pretty soon. Commander recently did one. Ours is getting a bit out of date, so probably need to work on that pretty soon. But yeah, I think that's, other than that, I am hoping to do, I don't want to call it a rules update, but I do want to go through the rules channel, the handbook, and just kind of look at stuff. And something I like to do is just see if there's like really wordy stuff that I can kind of cut down to size and still convey the same meaning, just because I'd like it to be as concise as possible while obviously covering a lot of different things. So that's something I want to do, and I think in going with the Monolith rules channel, which is basically the Monolith subforum, most of the threads from there, most of the important ones anyway, taken and moved onto Discord. I'd like to keep working on stuff like that in terms of accessibility, like being able to have our stories and stuff like that accessible on Discord somehow. Things like that I think would be really cool. That's a lot harder to do. Discord's just not really suitable for really, really long form text, in my opinion, but I like doing that. Not that the forum should die, but always going to keep them up. But like I said, I think that it's important to have that accessibility especially for important things for WA. I don't know that we need to copy every single post from the forums onto Discord, but I do think that having important stuff on Discord is helpful. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Kasik has assembled the men in Sir Dollar. All right. Well, I'll be there for Court of the High King in just a minute here. I think that's about all I got, so I'll go ahead and sign off. and see everybody for Court of the High King. We will have opportunity for anybody to take the recruitment license exam tonight too, and I believe next week. Let me double check here, but I believe next week will be a bit weird. I think we'll be on a Friday. Let me take a look here. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll be on a Friday next week. We'll probably do uh let's see. Might do a 3 p.m. Pacific. I'll announce that tonight. Um yeah, might do a 3 p.m. Pacific Friday for Fireside, and then like 3:30 for court, and then people can take RLE after that if they want to. If you want to take the RLE on Thursday, July 2nd, I can, but it wouldn't be till about 7:30 Pacific, something like that. Um, yeah. So, bit of a weird schedule next week. July 9th, we'll be back Thursday. All right, so we'll see everybody next time.